The Sofia Gray Show.
Hello, listeners and kinky friends. Welcome to the Sofia Gray Show, where we discuss all things sex, kinks, and fetishes. From the sex stories to the latest trends in the erotic world, we talk taboo transparently. This podcast is brought to you by Sofia Gray, the largest used underwear marketplace. I'm Tracy Bust.
And I'm Lacey Bloom.
And guys, it's time to put on some blindfolds.
Ooh, yeah. Mask up, baby.
No, we're talking about the appeal of being blindfolded during sex. Lacey, I love being blindfolded during sex. What's your opinion?
I do like it. It's so funny because I for the longest time thought that I would not like it just because I'm a little more, I don't want to say alpha, but like I'm a little more aggressive and dominant in like my everyday life. Mm-hmm. So I kind of just thought like, that's not something I'm going to like. Like that's going to be a power move that doesn't work for me. And, so for the longest time, I really did enjoy putting blindfolds on my partners.
Oh.
I do think that's exciting as well. Mm-hmm. But the first time that I was blindfolded, it took me a minute to like get into it. But when you kind of just accept it and go with it, it is very exhilarating.
Totally. And it's interesting because I feel like a lot of people might consider it kind of vanilla, which I get. Mm-hmm. But there's also like something very like kinkier about it, of not knowing what's going on, having a major sense completely shut off and having to rely on your other senses. That's like there's something like edgy about it, which I always find to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I agree because I think the whole idea of a blindfold is on the more vanilla, low-key side. But the part that makes it like edgier and kinkier is all the stuff that comes afterwards. Mm-hmm. And sort of like the not knowing and like literally, bad pun intended, being left in the dark.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think that's the part that really keys me up, is sort of like not the blindfold itself, but oh my gosh, what is this person going to do to me while I'm blindfolded?
Yeah. And it is like the level of trust to me feels like, for me, I feel like I need more trust being blindfolded than being tied up. You know what I mean? Like it's this weird thing. So yeah, that's why I think like it's not as vanilla as maybe I once thought.
Yeah, for sure. And again, that's something that you wouldn't necessarily know unless you've kind of tried a couple different things to see what works for you.
And it's interesting because like a lot of couples, it seems like, want to be blindfolded. There was a survey on sympathetic.us, which is this online platform dedicated to helping couples find new activities they want to share together in bed. And this was startling. It's more than 50% of men say that they want to be blindfolded by their partner. 60% of women say they want to be blindfolded by or with their partner. And 63% of men also say that they want their partner to be blindfolded. And like 50% of women say that they want their partner to be blindfolded. And it's like everyone wants their partner to be blindfolded. And it's like a bigger percentage than maybe I had thought,
Yeah, it is definitely higher than I would have expected. However, and I will say too, I think when we think about blindfolded sex in general, like generally we think about one person being blindfolded in this, couple, if we're talking about a couple. But I mean, I think there's something to be said also for having both partners blindfolded at the same time.
Sure. Yeah. I think there's something right. Because like, if you think about it, a lot of people have sex in the dark where you can't see anything. And so like the blindfold itself is like not too much of a leap. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when we think about sort of like, I guess like older ideas of like kind of repressing sexuality and like the idea that we had to have sex in the dark, like you have to have sex at nighttime. I think that kind of got ingrained in us that, because it's at night and they can't see me and they can't see my body, that almost gives both partners a little more, what's the word? Well, I guess it takes off some pressure for sure. Like, yeah. I mean, it definitely takes away some of your inhibitions, I think, because you you can't really look at your body and maybe the way you jiggle or like the way your roll folds or whatever it is. You don't think about that because, you know, you're blind to it, literally.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely power to be had in that, both for the person who's blindfolded and for the person who's doing the blindfolding.
Absolutely. Yeah, because like I know, you know, obviously we should like love our bodies and be confident. We're not like that every day. It's very hard, and sometimes we have days where we're not feeling great, but you want to get it on, and I think like having a blindfold on kind of helps me when I just like I'm kind of having an off day where I'm not feeling sexy, but you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
we shouldn't be so hard on ourselves is the point. But do you know what the term is for the fetish of blindfold sex?
Oh, I don't.
I hope I'm saying this correctly. It's amarophilia. Amarophilia.
Okay.
It's a desire to have sex completely in the dark. Either you prefer the using blindfolds, or, you know, you prefer blind sexual partners. Or, you know, again, it's also has to do with like your insecurities, but also feeling guilty over sex, you know, whether you feel guilty about nudity, guilty, you know, or religious reasons. Like, this is where psychologists think it comes from. So obviously I don't think that applies to like everyone. Like, I like being blindfolded sometimes. I just think it's hot. You know, who knows?
Yeah. Oh no, but I totally get where sort of like that's where maybe the more origins of it come from. Like just this idea of like, it's, you know, having sex is wrong, and you know, so we need to put ourselves in the dark to like eliminate, you know, I mean, it's this whole treatment of like bodies being dirty when like they're absolutely not. So I like that people have kind of reclaimed the blindfold as more of a empowering tool as opposed to a tool for shame.
Absolutely. And there are so many benefits to having sex while blindfolded. One being, which we talked about earlier, is like having a heightened sensitivity, where when you're taking away your ability to see, you get to focus on, you know, how your body feels and the sounds, and like your partner, if you like to talk dirty, you're focusing on the words, you know. I find it very, there's an intimacy to it that I really enjoy.
I mean, that's why we like any kind of sensory play, right? Is like you're tied up, you've had your I mean, I guess you haven't had touch taken away from you, but you can't use your hands to do it. If you know, play with some temperatures, if you play with different things to taste. I mean, it definitely, when you take away some of your senses, it heightens others.
Yeah. And another thing that can be good having sex blindfolded is that there's like this there's this pressure that you can take off in terms of trying different things or acting out like different scenarios, because sometimes like when you don't have the ability to kind of like see your partner, you don't get in your head a little bit, and so it's almost like an acting exercise if you think about it. Like, it allows you to like better commit because you're not thinking about what your partner looks like. So in a way, you're not like stuck in your head of being like, oh my god, like, does this person like this? Does this person not like that? Are they gonna laugh at me? Like, even though those are such irrational fears that, you know, you shouldn't be having, again, it comes up. But I think like being blindfolded kind of helps you like feel more like gutsy to try things and more confident in what you're going to try.
Yeah, I think it would also heighten the communication between partners too. Like, in, you know, it's, you can go for it and try new things, but also, you know, if you can't see what your partner's doing, you can make requests, or I want you to touch me here, or I want you to try this on me. And you know, there's something about kind of, you know, like taking away that feeling of like seeing, because I think we have this underlying fear. A lot of us do. I won't speak for everyone, but I think a lot of us have this sort of underlying fear that if you want to try something new, whether it's, you know, kinky or not, however you define kinky, that the worst thing that could happen is your partner kind of looking at you a different way and not in a positive light. And so I think sort of the blindfold is a kind of an antidote to that of, you know, I'm going to ask my partner to try something new that I've really been wanting to try. And I'm so nervous. I can't look at them in the eye. I think we actually talked about something similar when we talked about having phone sex.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is a good opportunity to ask them to try something new with you, or, you want them to lick something or touch something different. And
yeah, or just the surprise.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it definitely could amp up the communication between the two of you.
Yeah, and also in terms of like your relationships and having blindfolded sex, like I feel like for me, when having blindfolded sex also kind of establishes a sense of trust with me and my partner that kind of then exhibits like outside of the bedroom, because if I can trust someone when I'm at my most vulnerable, which is being blindfolded and however naked or whatever, there's a sense of like trust that I feel with my partner that I was able to have in our regular relationship.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay, so how can you incorporate blind sex or blindfolded sex into your love life? Here's the easiest one. Lacey, have your mind ready to be blown.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Get a blindfold.
What?
You want blindfolded sex? Get a blindfold. Guys, we all know where they are. You can use a sleeping mask. There's so many other things you can do. You can use a scarf. You can use a tie. You can use a t-shirt. You can use your stockings. So many things that you can be blindfolded with. Sometimes, like, I usually use... It's not sexy at all, but I feel like it does a good job blocking out the light, is just like a headband that you get at CVS, like the felt headband. I feel like it stays on really well.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point. And I'm like wondering why I've never made that connection before, because I feel like I've gone out of my way to make it more difficult by using like the tie on a bathrobe. Like,
that's sexy.
Which is great, but also like, why am I doing that when I have headbands just sitting by the bed ready to go?
I guess, yeah, but it's fun. Like, there's so many different things. It's fun to mix it up. Like, I love using a tie on occasion. I have used these, like, I was wearing one time like fishnet stockings, used that, that was a lot of fun. If you're not into like having things on your face, which understandable, you can also get like blackout curtains for your room.
Absolutely. Good point.
And there's also hoods. There's also like a bunch of like cute kind of blindfolds you can get as a gift. For someone in so many sex shops and online, you can find like matching lingerie with matching blindfolds, matching toys with blindfolds. Like, I think it's like if you want to try it with a partner, if you've been talking about blindfolded sex with a partner, and you want to surprise them, I feel like there's so many cute gift sets.
It's so true. Like, and it's not just a present for them, it's a present for both of you. So I mean, that's fun. Like, I think these are like great gifts for like anniversary. Well, I mean, honestly, I think these are great gifts for like a Tuesday. Sure. But if you're looking for a gift, I always I'm not a fan of the whole like, I'm gonna get you lingerie to wear for me sort of present.
Yeah, I don't like that
However, if you can buy something for your partner that the two of you can enjoy together, like some sort of bondage restraint set with blindfolds, maybe it's a his and hers kind of blindfold. That's fun. I like that. I think that's perfect, especially for like an anniversary gift or something.
Totally. And there's just like cool like designs and like types of felt, and like, it's just like fun to kind of, when I want to take a break from my headband, my cheapo headbands,
right.
Just it helps me feel sexier to have just like a matching set, having a flogger that goes with the blindfold. I don't know. I just like find it's just like, it's like those little things that kind of spice things up a little bit, that just like, it's not a big detail that you need to add, but it's just like those small things that can just like totally change your experience.
Well, and hello, especially during these quarantine times. I mean, there's plenty of extra time in everybody's schedule to try out some new things. If you're lucky enough to be quarantining with a partner or partners, that's fantastic. Like, I say, take this time to, online shop and order up a few things for you and your partner.
And so also, I finally want to talk about just like safety when it comes to being blindfolded, because
Ooh, yes.
again, you think like, oh, you're just blindfolded, but there is like a trust that you need, a safety that you need. Consent is a big thing. You have to consent to be blindfolded. And if you want to stop being blindfolded, communicate it and stop being blindfolded. Use your safe word, even though you might not be in pain. If you're feeling vulnerable, you can stop. Consent isn't one fixed point. You know what I mean? Like, you don't put the blindfold on and then you're just like, oh, I'm going to be blindfolded even though I don't like it. Take it off if you don't like it, and communicate with your partner and use your safe word, even if it is just a blindfold and you're not being restrained, you're not being whipped. If you're feeling unsafe, even with a blindfold, don't be afraid to say, I want to stop.
Yeah. I like that you pointed that out too, because I know that there's been, moments where I've been with a partner and I don't want to say felt unsafe in that I felt like this partner would hurt me in any way, but just like there's been moments where in the past I didn't feel comfortable with something we were doing, and rather than say something, worried that I would hurt my partner's feelings, I, just went along with it. And, this was somebody that I was involved in, and I by no means feel that there was any type of assault whatsoever, but just it's my own neuroses, kicking in and wondering, oh, if I don't want to do this, will my partner not want to be with me anymore?
Right. If
I don't, we tried this same act a week ago and I really liked it then, but I don't like it now. So I like that you mentioned that in any case, whatever the reason, if you don't feel safe, if you aren't enjoying yourself and what's happening, with your partner, speak up, because otherwise you're going to be thinking about it for a lot longer than it would have taken to just say a quick word and, talk about it with your partner and kind of realize why maybe this isn't working for you.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a simple fix, maybe it's just a position change, or, you want to try a different kind of blindfold, whatever it might be.
Or you just want to take the blindfold off, like I feel like, it's whatever you feel. Don't be ashamed even if again, because like people are like, oh, being blindfolded is so vanilla. Don't be ashamed. First of all, don't think of it as vanilla. That's my personal opinion. And also, like, if even if it is a bit of a tamer thing, this is riskier for you in terms of your sex life. Like, if you don't like it, always communicate.
Right. The same rules apply to any sort of sex act ever. So, I mean, even just because you liked it yesterday doesn't mean you're going to like it tomorrow.
Right. Exactly.
Whether you're looking to buy or sell used panties, Sofia Gray has got you covered. If you want to earn some extra cash, you can set up your own shop in minutes and start selling your own used underwear. And they take no commission. You'll keep 100% of every single sale that you make.
If you got a kink for used panties and you're looking to buy your next pair, look no further. Oh, and the whole process is completely anonymous. Sofia Gray will never share, store, or archive your personal information. The name Sofia Gray won't even appear on your bank receipt. So head on over to sofiagray.com to start selling or buying used panties now.
And if you're a fan of the podcast, we hope you'll subscribe on your favorite podcast streaming platform. You can also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts to let us know what you think. And while you're at it, please feel free to share your feedback or questions by sending us an email to podcast@sofiagray.com. Until next time, I'm Lacey Bloom.
And I'm Tracy Bust.
And we're here to say, let them be kinky. There's no kink shaming here.